Hello and welcome to Lightbulb Moments. This is a new web series that I am starting in which I can impart to you at home, in your office, at your own convenience, some ideas, some techniques that you can use with your children or with your child clients. The concept behind this web series is to keep it small. Like I said, it's moments. Light bulb moments, and my hope is that it'll spur in you, the viewer, an idea, further thinking, and perhaps even further interventions based on what I'm saying. I do want to encourage everybody to please contact me, Shulamis, whether it be through email, phone, or my website. Give me feedback, let me know how this is, if this has been helpful for you, what you would like to improve, and what you would like to hear more about. I encourage you to send me questions about your children or your child therapist, and I would be happy to address them here in this web series, Lightbulb Moments. For today's topic, I want to share an idea that I have developed. This is a technique that I have found super helpful with almost all the children I work with. This is a concept that is particularly helpful for children with ADHD, although truthfully, I have found it to be helpful with children with any kind of difficulty in focusing and hyperactivity. So very simply, what I call this intervention is 1, 2, 3. The reason why I call it that is because it's based just on 3 simple skills that I want the child to learn. The first of those skills is to make a plan. I want to teach the child cognitive planning. Often when we're working with children with impulsivity difficulties, that's exactly where the crux of the problem lies. They act before they're thinking ahead, before they're contemplating, is this a good idea? How is this going to affect me and my goal? So number 1 is make a plan. The second is to focus, concentrate. Pay attention to the task at hand. Pay attention to what it is that they are doing in that moment, and not to be focusing on all the different things that can be going on in the room, in the classroom, or in their mind. And the third is to go slow. Again, an issue that I see, especially with children who are impulsive, is that they are quickly trying to complete a task without really giving necessary attention to it, and then they end up needing to do the task again and again and again, when really they could have done it just once had they gone slow. So to go over again, and my children who I work with hear me saying this constantly, these 3 steps again and again and again, and part of that is I really want to solidify it in their mind. So go over again, the 3 steps are make a plan, concentrate, and go slow. So typically the way I like to do this with children is I first introduce this concept in a way that is fun. I introduce it in a game. So I'll have the child pick almost any game in my office. You'll find that you can use this concept with almost any game or activity. The games that I particularly like to use it with is the game Operation and the game Pick Up Sticks. The game Operation, if any of you remember this from when you were younger, it's a game that is set up, it's supposed to look like a man on an operating table, and there are different pieces that the child has to take out with tweezers very slowly without touching the sides. And as you know, if you touch the sides with the tweezers, there's a buzzer and you're out. So I had the child set it up, and I tell them again, here's what we're doing. Number 1 is make a plan. And I'll model during my turn. I'll model the same thing. Number 1, make a plan. I take a look and I say, okay, let me think about which pieces that I'm going to try to go for first. Again, the impulsive child just wants to jump in and act, and then they often get out right away. Instead, we want to teach them, make a plan. And say the plan out loud before they act. Take a look and say, maybe I'm going to go for this piece over here because it's the middle, it's easiest to get to. I have them say out loud what their plan is. Perhaps their plan is, I'm going to squeeze the tweezers very tight to make them smaller until it starts to touch that piece. Or I'm going to move the piece a little bit more to the center to make it easier, and then I'm going to take it out. Concentrate. Look just at that piece that you're trying to take out. Don't look at the other pieces. Don't look at outside the window. Don't look at what other toys are happening in the corner. Just focus on that piece right in front of you and go slow. I purposefully pick games that are not time oriented in the sense that the winner is the one that goes faster. Go slow. You don't lose any points from going slow. And sometimes they even make a trick out of this. They make it into a game. I'm very slow. And the kid learns as we do this that if they follow these steps, they do better. And I do the same thing with pick-up sticks. Sometimes I first introduce the idea to the child, we do pick-up sticks, and perhaps it's their turn, and they're automatically reaching and going in and trying to pick up the sticks. As some of you may know, pick-up sticks, you have a whole bunch of sticks, you set them down and on the floor, on the ground, and the objective of the game is to pick up this one stick at a time without touching the others. And at the end, whoever gets the most sticks win. So I have some children, like I said, who right away jump right into it, and sure enough, they get out. And so I will model for them, make a plan. And I'll say outside what my plan is, say out loud, excuse me, what my plan is. Again, before acting, some children will say the plan as they're doing it, but that's not really helping us. You first say the plan out loud, and I'll say, I'm going to move the green stick first because I see that that one's furthest away from the pile. And I'm going to focus, I'm looking just at that green stick. I'm not paying attention to what the next stick is that I'm going to try to pick up. And I'm going to go very, very slow. And this technique, like I said, can be used really for a whole bunch of games. If we're going to play Sorry, you could do the same thing. Make a plan. First, I'm going to decide which piece I want to move. And then I'm going to focus on it. I'm just going to look at that piece, and I'm going to count out loud. What are the spaces? I'm focusing just on that. And I'm going to go slow so that I don't miscount or I don't misstep. Also, something that can be used with more active games, perhaps playing ball. You can say, make a plan, decide, are you going to throw the ball overhand or underhand? If you're playing with multiple players, who are you going to throw the ball to? Focus, look straight at the person that you're throwing the ball to. Don't look all over. The ball's going to get everywhere. And go slow. Throw it with intention. And then the next step is, after the child really gets these steps, and I have them say it again and again and again, make a plan, concentrate, go slow. The next step is we talk about what are ways that we can use these techniques, these skills in areas, in their other areas of their life. For example, schoolwork. It's a great way to use it. I'll sometimes even have the child bring in their homework, and we will look at a piece of homework, perhaps it's a math homework sheet. And again, we will say, first part is make a plan. Decide what your plan is. Are you going to first identify what are the math skills that you need to learn here? Is it multiplication? Is it addition? Is it division? Etc. Are you going to decide that first you're going to do the easy one and then go back to the hard one? Are you going to start at the first example and go down to 3, 4, 5, etc.? Are you going to first look it all over and then go back and do it first? Take a glimpse at what the problems are. We talk about what's a plan that's best for them. And then, of course, concentrate. Just look at that piece of paper. Just look at that math sheet. Don't look anywhere else, and go slow. For children that have a lot of difficulty with going slow, I even use timers. Often use timers to make kids go faster. I will use either those game timers or an oven timer and have it set that they can't stop until they have finished the task, but they can't stop before the timer goes off. They need to just sit there and review it then if need be. Use it for, like I said, schoolwork. You can use it for preparing for a test. You can use it for taking a test. Again, make a plan. Concentrate, go slow. You can also use it for chores at home. I find this fantastic to do. Clean your room. Okay, first make a plan. How are we cleaning it? Are you just starting from one area and working your way to the other? Are you first doing clothes and then toys and then school things? What's your plan? Make a plan first. Concentrate. Just focus on cleaning your room. Don't get distracted by the book that's in the corner or the Game Boy or the iPad. Concentrate, look just at the task at hand. And the last is go slow. There's no rush. Go slow. Don't just jumble all your clothes together and throw it in the closet. Take the time to fold it. Go slow. I hope that this was helpful. Again, this is one of my favorite techniques. Like I said, I use it for children with ADHD or almost any child in general that needs help developing these skills. I would love some feedback. Again, you can email me. You can call me. My number is 347-415-5247. You can also contact me through my website, shulamism.com. Please let me know what you think. Give me some questions, and I'll be happy to share them and give my feedback on Lightbulb Moments. Thank you for joining me.